Hello and welcome to episode 11 of the Comedian's Tea Party with Deaves. This week we're talking to Ash Frith. Just got a short intro for you because it's quite a lengthy episode, but it's a very enjoyable episode. I laughed a lot while we were recording it, and I also laughed a lot while I was editing it, so hopefully you will also laugh a lot. We have tea this week supplied by both Teapigs and Twinings, so thanks to those guys for sending us the tea. It was lovely, but hear more about that during the chat. Just a quick couple of plugs before we get into it. Don't forget that my show Size Matters is on as part of the Camden Fringe at the Camden Comedy Club at the Camden Head in Camden. That is on Sunday, the 11th of August, 2019. Just in case you're listening to this in the future, you have missed it. If you're listening to it this week, that is this week. Although, if you don't know when you've listened to this, then this week is irrelevant. Cool. Enjoy the show. Shall we pull these up? Hello, and welcome to episode 11 of the Comedian's Tea Party with Deaves. With me, Deaves, and today my guest is the lovely Ash Frith.
Hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm really, really good. I'm very excited for this. This looks like you've put some wood in a bag.
Yes, there is often a conversation about these bags. They're quite attractive as tea bags, aren't they?
Yeah, they're plastic though, so they are.
No, they're not.
Oh no, they're not. They're biodegradable.
They are biodegradable.
I was going to mention this because I listened to the episode with Matt.
Yeah.
And
Matt
Adlington, and he clearly doesn't know what the word biodegradable means, which I thought was funny. He said, "Does that mean it melts in the cup?" And you went, "No, it doesn't mean that, Matt. No."
Yeah, I mean, I love him, but
is he the cleverest stupid person you've ever met? Do you want to do the tea?
He might be the cleverest stupid person I've ever met, and in reflection, people often tell me that I am the stupidest clever person they've ever met.
Yeah, I think you might be. Yeah, perfect.
This makes perfect sense.
That's why you're in love.
Why we make a great team.
Can I tell you about this tea?
I hope this is picking up on the.
I need a wee now. Let me take the kettle.
Yeah,
we brought a kettle into the loft. Essentially,
we did. Yeah, we're in Ash's pod booth.
Yeah,
which is amazing. It's compact.
Oh, it's small. It's a one-person pod booth, really. But
yeah, but I'm little.
Yeah, and there's two chairs.
Yeah.
I mean, this tea. This is a Teapigs licorice and peppermint tea.
Yeah, thanks Teapigs for sending us the tea.
I mean, I don't know whether you want to say about the tea, really, but you know.
Go on, you say what you got to say.
All I know, I'll just tell you off the top of my head what I know about the ingredients without sort of studying. That licorice has been used for centuries in traditional Chinese medicine.
Oh, I did know that.
And it's hugely popular with the Dutch and in the Dutch, and tastes much better with peppermint than sherbet dips, which isn't true. Which is why we've blended pure licorice root with the whole peppermint leaves to create a naturally sweet and refreshing drink that is irresistibly Moorish. Now, that to me sounds like... that's a challenge. Like if we finish this cup of tea and we're like, oh my god, we need another one. Irresistibly Moorish means I'm saying heroin is irresistibly Moorish.
Yes.
This, I reckon,
I'd be concerned if this is going to be irresistibly Moorish in the same vein as heroin.
Yeah. In fact, when we finish this cup, I'm going to ask you whether you want another one exactly the same, and if you say no, I'm going to email Teapigs.
If I start shivering and have to lay in a corner, I might sue Teapigs.
Yeah, I think you'd be bloody right to as well. It can't just go banding around, this is irresistibly Moorish, especially if it's your product.
Yeah. Especially as well, she's written at the end of that, if I say so myself.
Which you did.
Full stop, Louise.
Yeah.
And like Stuart brought this up because he cannot stand when someone personalises a product. And that couldn't be more personalised. If I say so myself.
I don't know.
Like she's written that.
I mean, certain things I like to be... Like, I want this...
Well, I'll tell you what I want is where it says Louise, I want to rub that and I want the ink to come off of my finger because she's literally signed that herself. That'd be great, wouldn't it?
That's true. But it does give that... the idea that this has been put together by Louise.
Yeah.
Now, Louise is probably an acronym for Liam, Oliver, Yuna, India, Sarah, and Evan. There's a team behind all the tea bags. But I and does each bag taste the same? Does your bag taste the same as my bag? If you'll excuse the
We're going to have to
expression.
taste each other's bags, I think.
I thought that would come to this. That's why I brought you to the pod, babe, away from the family. But because your general breakfast tea, the blend, they blend a different blend every single day.
Yeah.
But there's a man or woman whose job it is to put the blend together. And because they bring in 10 different teas, and they taste each batch to make sure it tastes exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're super tasters, so that's why you could taste PG tips and it tastes the same every time. They're not the same tea leaves. They've come from all over the world, and they come together. And some guy, be that male or female, I'm just using guy generically.
Some person,
or whatever.
Simple option.
They taste it to make it taste exactly like that, which is incredible.
That is insane. It's like a tea scientist.
Yeah, and they drink like 30 cups of tea and then go, this is the one you need this is the batch you need to make.
That's incredible.
What a job.
Yeah. I wonder if they'd like taste one batch and say this tastes like Tetley's, let's sell it to Tetley's.
Well, I imagine Tetley's have got their own guy.
Right. Well, yeah, but not within the PG Tits factory.
No. No, but I don't imagine there's a conversation where they go, we really need to employ someone. Oh, who do we need? We need a guy in another factory that doesn't work.
Just to make sure that they're not stealing.
And why are you getting paid? Because that's a very important job.
Well, it really is. I mean, do you think there's tea spies? I bet it's a cutthroat.
Yes.
Well,
although I heard this story about, there's a secret recipe for Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
So that nobody knows. There's like 3 people in the world that knows the mix of Coca-Cola. So a Coca-Cola employee, I say there's 3, there's probably 40. A Coca-Cola employee,
still not many,
left under a cloud and went to Pepsi with the rest of the formula.
No.
And Pepsi literally just said no and reported the person. Wow.
And now he's dead.
He's dead, yeah. But yeah, so that's a weird thing that although it must be. But then, if you're making tea, you want to be confident in your tea. I don't want to be making tea and going, I wish we were Tetley.
Yeah.
But there is a real difference. Like
there is a real difference.
If you have a PG Tips and you have a supermarket own brand, it's the lesser quality.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. What is your go-to tea? The reason I just turned around there was I just realised I've left my...
Oh, yeah.
Is there a ghost?
No, there's no such thing. But
no, I've left my booklet with all the questions, the 3 questions that I ask. Yeah, it's fine. I'll remember them.
Can you?
Probably.
My go-to tea... Well, so we've had a real incident recently where we've had a lot of bursting bags.
What?
We've had a spate of bursting bags.
Oh.
And...
Who from?
From PG Tips.
Good grief.
Yeah. Because they've just changed their bags to include no plastic.
Right.
And
they've not nailed it yet.
They have not nailed it yet. So they use a paper bag rather than this degradable. So this is probably made, is it bamboo or starch or whatever?
I don't know. I've got a feeling it's some kind of nylon.
No, because it's got to be biodegradable.
Because it's plastic, isn't it? Yeah, of course it's not.
So this just points to me that everything should be made out of this. Like all food packaging could be made out of this.
Right.
Like why isn't it? Unless it's more expensive.
I should think it is more expensive. But, well, I mean, their bag...
3 to 5 minutes, it says.
I leave mine in.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. No, you do. You do. Do you want to take it out?
No, not now.
Okay. I always leave mine in.
Always in. I don't like it when I don't like things in my food, really.
I understand where you're coming from.
Something touching my lip.
I find with these tea bags, like generally doesn't touch it anyway. But generally, these tea bags, they just tend to get better over time.
Yeah.
Which is obviously how that works, but like the longer you leave it in, I feel like
I know you have listeners.
It doesn't tend to get bitter like you.
Yeah, like an old tea bag. If you left a regular tea bag,
a black tea bag,
it would get worse.
Yes.
The tannin or something.
Yes, that is what it is. But these are slightly different.
We live in Southend. I'm sure you don't mind me saying.
No.
And
moderately common knowledge.
Yeah, my friend owns a coffee/tea shop,
Okay.
called Barlow and Fields.
What, nearby?
It's in Leigh-on-Sea.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he's got maybe 20 different types of tea, well, maybe more than that at any time. And this is very short notice.
Do you reckon I can get him on the podcast?
You can 100% get him
Oh,
on the
yeah.
podcast. Simon Barlow is his name. He's very funny. And he would, if I'd have known that I was coming on with more than a day's notice, I was with him on Sunday. And I'd thought, because obviously I've been meaning to come on the podcast for a long time, but just our diaries haven't worked.
We're both busy men.
My plan was to get him to do me a specific blend.
Really?
Just for...
He makes his own blend?
He makes his own blend.
Oh, my God.
So he would do your winter blend.
Shall we cancel this now?
Maybe we'll do it again. Maybe. I'll tell you what we do.
Yeah.
I will... well, it's up to you. I'm not telling you
what
what
time does he close in the day?
He closed at 5, but
like a normal
it's his
time.
shop.
You and I go down there after hours. Let's have a tea lock-in.
That's what I was saying. That's what I was going to say. We go in there. Perfect soundings.
Yeah.
Have you got 3 microphones?
I've got 3 microphones.
You've got 3 microphones.
I've got 6 microphones if you need 6 microphones.
We'll go down there, me, you, I'll introduce you, and we can just go through his... He can blend. I'll get him specifically to do us different blends.
Oh, my God. I'm so excited.
He might even do some sort of vegan cake. Yeah. I'm sorry I've let you down with this one, really.
Not at all. No, I mean, this is everything I was expecting it to be, and more, because we're in your lovely pod booth. Yeah, I know. I didn't expect that at all. And now I've got so much to look forward to.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm moving into my house next week with my girlfriend.
This is bigger than
Sod that. Like, you don't need...
We'll go there out of hours. We'll drink tea.
Please still live with me.
I think she will. I don't think she's going to blow you out for being excited about
I mean, because like she supports this podcast, as we know.
I mean, she's bought you these mugs.
It was my birthday 2 days ago, and she
happy
has
birthday.
bought... Oh, thank you very much.
I mean, it doesn't mean anything me saying that, does it? I didn't sat on the day, and ultimately...
No, I know.
I didn't know.
You're on a list.
I don't... It's not that I don't care, but I don't... It doesn't matter, does it?
So I admire your honesty.
I don't know whether you're 31 or 37. I've no idea.
Oh, it's right in the middle. I'm 34.
Well, there you go. Again, it doesn't really affect the way I feel about you either way.
I mean, you could have said younger, but
no, because I didn't want to lie. Yeah,
good.
There you go. Well, I didn't know whether you were 23 or 34. You just told me how old you were. I didn't really hear what you said.
34.
34.
Good. Yeah, don't take the piss.
It doesn't matter, does it? It doesn't matter about age.
I don't know if you're
Yes, you do.
42 or 53.
Yeah.
It's somewhere in between there.
It is somewhere in that ballpark, certainly. It's troubling, isn't
What,
it?
you 37?
Yeah, 37.
Exactly 37?
No, I was 40 like 2 weeks
Were
ago.
you?
Yeah.
Oh. Sorry, I didn't say happy birthday.
No, I didn't.
It's not that I don't care.
Yeah, no, I don't want a happy birthday. My girlfriend barely said happy birthday.
Yeah, understandable.
I don't like birthdays.
No, neither does my girlfriend.
Does she not?
No.
No, they're awful things. Stupid. Don't mean anything.
Yeah.
And then people say happy birthday. You haven't spoken to in 10 years.
Yeah.
How much do they really care? And especially if people put it on Facebook. People who say happy birthday on Facebook, well, you don't care. You obviously don't care because the only reason you is because of Facebook.
Yeah.
Should we drink some tea?
Well,
or is it still too hot for you?
It's still quite hot. It might be okay. Because what's quite nice is my birthday is the day before Matt Adlington's. And
I did not wish Matt Adlington happy birthday, and I'd consider
'cause...
him a close friend.
Thanks, mate.
I mean, I see him
it's
3
fine.
times a
you
week.
Do, yeah.
I feel a bit guilty about not.
Yeah, no,
I didn't go to his barbecue.
No, I know. I was there.
Yeah.
But because...
Did he say he missed me?
He doesn't remember much because he was sick a lot.
Yeah, you drank 4 bottles of tequila, I heard.
4.5, yeah. Yeah. It was... I feel more or less better now, and we are 3 days forward.
Wow.
So...
Yeah, it wasn't because of that I didn't go.
Pretty intense.
I just didn't want to.
No. It was good. It was good fun.
Was it though?
Yeah.
In what way?
It was enjoyable.
Tell me, what do you enjoy?
I mean, socially it was fun. Like we got to chat to some people that I like, some that I respect.
How many people were there? 15. 15.
It's probably the most successful party he's ever had.
What was the percentage of people you respect there?
About 8%.
The trouble is, I know you know that's the exact amount as well. You didn't even have to think about it.
No. It's slightly more than that. 12.
12% of people.
Yeah. No, it's lovely. It's a really good time. We played some drinking games, and I regret that. And, if anything, due to the level of tequila consumed, I actually respect Matt less. So
yeah. I went to a wedding last weekend, and you going for it?
Oh, sorry, yeah. No, go on.
Are we doing it together?
Tell the story. Do you want to? No, tell the story. You tell that.
I went to a wedding, and all of my sort of oldest friends were there. And I reckon, so we got there, we were, like, the ceremony...
Old as in, like, you've known them a long time, or old as in, just really old?
Both.
Right.
And...
your age, then.
Yeah, very old. And then we got the ceremony sort of finished about 1:30. So then it was all on a farm.
Okay.
So I got to hang out with my mates, you know, the guys I grew up playing football with, you know, the people I would consider to be my closest, bestest friends.
Yeah.
About 3 hours later, I thought, yeah, I've done everything I need to do now. I've caught up with them as much as I need to. But we were at Stonehenge, and we're like, so it's too far to just go home.
Yeah. So
we sat there till 1:00. It's like, it's still really good to see you guys. Yeah. And I love them all. I don't spend enough time with them, but 3-4 hours is the amount of time I need to spend with any person.
I could spend more than a day with like 1 or 2 people. But if there's more than, say, 10 people, I don't want to spend more than an hour or 2 with any of those people. Yeah.
Well, I see from the gigs we've gone to and things like that, I think we have a similar mindset in a lot of things. That I don't, maybe I'm putting my problems onto you.
You go ahead.
I feel incredibly awkward in a group of 15 people. I would have been incredibly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And I would have just not spoken.
Yeah, I mean, that's where the tequila helps.
I don't really drink.
No, I don't anymore either, which is why that was such a bad idea for me.
Yeah, but then you came out of your shell, did you? How is Michelle? Doesn't make any sense because I said your shell. No. Well, let's drink some tea. Oh, that's delicious.
Oh.
That's really delicious.
That is delicious.
That's incredibly sweet.
That tastes so much different to anything that I've had so far, I think. Because the licorice in that it doesn't taste like licorice.
That's perfect.
But that sort of, you still get the minty aftertaste.
You know what, Louise?
Before that, it's quite like
you've absolutely bloody nailed it.
Yeah, well done, Louise. It's got quite a thick, sort of fruity taste, like that hit first.
Well, that's in my throat. Like, I'm tasting that from my mouth to halfway down my throat.
That is delicious. Oh, wow. That's really nice.
And it works as iced tea as well.
Yes, most of these do. I often, I mean, obviously you've read this already. I often play a game of guessing the level of ingredients or guessing the ingredients in it, because normally it's quite complicated. Like, there's sort of loads of different things in there. That is 70% licorice root, 30% peppermint leaves.
Contains licorice, of course it does, but the law tells us we've got to warn you. So people suffering from hypertension should avoid excessive consumption. Hypertension is high blood pressure, isn't it? So is licorice bad for high blood pressure?
I would assume so. Avoid excessive consumption, which obviously, as this is irresistibly Moorish.
Yeah, that's incredibly irresponsible from them. But you'll not be able to live without this in your life. But whatever you do, don't drink a second cup, because you will die of a massive heart attack.
I think that should just say just steer clear at all, because you will want more.
That is a weird bit of that. No one has read through that in one go, have they? There's no one that's read that entire thing and then said, right, are we happy with that? Because they'd have gone, no. At the top you said it is Moorish and you're just going to want another one. And at the bottom it says, whatever you do, don't have another one.
Yeah.
That's made me cough. But, see, this is don't have any more because it'll give you a heart attack. Have you ever had food where it's got sweeteners in it, so it says, don't have this because it will produce a laxative effect?
No.
So, like, sugar-free sweets.
Yeah.
If you eat a load of them.
Yes,
There's a
I do know
brilliant
that, yeah.
review of someone who bought sugar-free Haribo on
Yeah, I
on
think I've read
Amazon,
it, yeah.
and it was just about the end of their world, basically.
Oh, there's some funny reviews on Amazon.
Have you seen what's the one about the
There's one about
Veet
yeah,
on the testicles?
That's exactly what I was going to... It was amazing.
So funny.
It was so detailed.
Oh, it was amazing. It went around. It's one of those things that goes around.
Went viral,
It did.
if you will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
God, I like this a lot.
Have you ever Veeted yourself?
I think I've had my back veeted before.
Really?
Yeah.
You hairy?
Not
Hairy man?
particularly, but just a bit of back hair.
Hmm.
So occasionally, yeah, I'll just shave it.
Okay.
If I'm feeling particularly adventurous, I get my girlfriend to do it.
In a
No, mainly the shower.
right.
Can you shave my back? What a horrible thing to do to someone.
So do you often shower with her?
Oh, she'll come in. Well, we've got a kid, so like the bathroom door, essentially, I might as well take it off. It's only that you're here that the bathroom door's on, because she will just come and go freely as if it's doesn't like. Literally, the other day I was sitting down going to the toilet, which I do for all my toilets.
Like a
but
poo or
yeah,
right.
it was a poo, and she just opened the door and came in. I was like, "What are you doing? When this is not acceptable."
Yeah, that's I can't get on board with that.
No, absolutely off board with
Yeah.
that. Totally and utterly off board. But now also it's weird because I've stopped taking my phone. I take my phone to the toilet,
Yeah, I think
but I
everyone
leave it
does.
on the side.
Oh.
Now I don't hold
You
my
don't even
phone
use
whilst
it?
I'm pooing
Hmm.
or weeing. I leave it there because I just
Then why take it in?
because it's with me. It's always with me. It's with me
Right.
now. So I'll just put it on the side. Sit down.
Have you got nudes of Justin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I pop it down on the side, and but then so when she comes in, it's all right if I'm there on my own, but you don't want to be seen to be on the toilet without your phone. That's weird. That's
Yeah.
really weird. What were you doing in there? I was sitting going to the toilet. But what were you doing with your hands? I'd had them clasped in front of me.
Like you were waiting on a train.
I was like I was waiting on a train. I look like the Queen
Yeah.
waiting on her throne, but doing a shit.
Do you think that's what she does in between public events?
She's got to poo, Si. There's
Yeah.
no denying that. There is absolutely no denying.
I
The Queen
imagine
has shit herself.
Surely
We're probably going to do
Oh,
it much, much more going
Yeah.
forwards.
she's at the age.
She has had food poisoning and literally shit the bed. There's no two ways around that. She may be the Queen. It's not just that she goes to the toilet.
She's probably got people that catch her bowel movements though.
Well, that used
In
to
a
be a
basket.
big job, didn't it, for the kings and queens?
Did it really?
Having a toilet person was it was like the closest job you could get to the royal, so
Yeah.
it would be a very prestigious job. The bottom one.
I imagine there's like someone employed to squeeze toothpaste and someone slightly bigger employed to squeeze the monarch.
But there used to be someone used to work in underneath because the toilet was just a seat on a box, and it would be someone's job to be in that box underneath where the toilet came through. What were they doing in there? I don't know, but there was someone in there. That's how it worked.
Have you read the story about? And this was based in the Southend Wetherspoons, the last post.
Yeah.
Basically, there was a story online about how someone, like a bloke, was just doing a wee in one of the urinals, and he looked down and could have sworn he saw an eye or like a face underneath the.
I mean, I've heard this story, but it wasn't about Southend Wetherspoons.
Oh, really?
So it does make me think it might be apocryphal.
Well, so obviously that is the story that someone had broken into this little sort of cubbyhole around the side of the toilet, went underneath and got pissed on because that was their kink.
Yeah.
Now, a friend of mine was in Southend Wetherspoons in one of the cubicles, and there's a weird little secret door in said cubicle, and he went, "What's this?" So he got his camera out and filmed it, went round and found the place that had occurred.
Well, that you know that why that exists.
Yes, obviously.
So you can get to the cistern of the toilet.
Yeah.
If you're an engineer.
Well, you say that. I used to work in the theatre, and we used to have to take down big panels of the wall,
Yeah, yeah.
and we get to it that way. But that was like a full
Yeah, like a facade.
get around the back and lay underneath.
Yeah, But I imagine that is for engineering purposes, because all the pipework comes out the bottom of your eye.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many things about that prove it impossible, because obviously that goes straight to a tripod. You can't get your eye underneath it.
Well, you could if you took the trap off.
Yeah. Oh, maybe you did.
Maybe you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it could happen. We went and stayed at this hotel, me and my girlfriend, and we watched Back to the Future. You know when you watch it in a park outside?
Yes, right.
So we did that.
I thought you meant, when you watch a film in a park, like just
yeah,
on a bench.
So we watched it on a big screen, and I got food poisoning off cheese. I got cheese poisoning.
Right.
And went back to the hotel.
Are you a vegan man now?
I'm a vegan man now, yeah. I barely ate cheese again after this.
Yeah,
so this was a brilliant thing for me because I wanted to be vegan before I was. So I was like, oh, she went to sleep, and I was like, something's not right. I just don't quite feel right. Something's not sitting right. And then I was watching some TV on my phone. Like, she's asleep. It's probably midnight or whatever. Every advert on the telly was for food. Every advert. And I'm like, oh, no. But it probably wasn't. It was just become so aware of the amount of people talking about food. So about 1 o'clock, I'm like, I'm going to go to the toilet. I'm going to have to go to the bathroom.
Yeah.
As I walked in, just threw up. Like, oh, God, it was like nothing I've ever had before. And I collapsed onto the toilet backwards. So I'm sitting now on the toilet. And then it just sort of threw up out of my arsehole. Like I never had before. But then there was a big, huge bath in this thing. It was like maybe a 5-person bath in this hotel room.
What did you do in the bath?
Like a jacuzzi type thing. So then I threw up into the jacuzzi whilst, I'm lucky there wasn't a vortex in my gut because it was coming up and down. It could have imploded.
Yeah.
And then, as I sort of come round from this sort of fog, there is this massive mirror on the wall by this bath. Maybe like 10 foot.
And it's a two-way mirror.
Well, maybe 10 foot by 6 foot.
Yeah.
And it was from the top of the bath. The bath is sort of built into the floor and wall.
Right.
And it's from the floor to almost the ceiling. And I'm sitting there thinking, what if that's a two-way mirror? Because that's a big bath. I'd call that a sex bath. It was quite a nice hotel.
Yeah.
But if you were going to have a sex orgy in a bath...
Did they have 2 light switches? One that was for the normal light, one
I turned it off and then just saw 30 people exposed in their silhouettes behind the mirror. But right, so then I'm sitting naked, spewing shit out my arse and throwing up. And all I can think of is, what if they come here expecting a sex show between me and my partner?
Yeah.
So then I thought, don't be so stupid. I'm in a haze. I'm sort of hallucinating because I'm so ill. So the next morning, my girlfriend had to go out early in the morning to get me some Lucozade or something because I'd spent so long being sick. I was so ill. I thought, right, we're meant to be going to visit friends. I was like, can't do that. So as we left the room, we walked past the end of our room and there's like a little door. I'm like, that would lead to where the mirror is. But I didn't open it or investigate any further. But it was just like a small cupboard door.
I imagine you're going to just open a door. There's a man in there going, I'm really sorry.
He's there. He went, I barely knocked one out to that last night. I managed it, but it was hard work.
It took such a long time.
Yeah.
Really had to power through.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. But I'm just saying.
Eye contact.
It was. Because it's this place as well had like a club night in it. It was a hotel that had like a club in it that you then went to your rooms.
Right.
There's definitely people going there and having sex.
Yeah. And some people watch.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I'll never know. It was in Hertfordshire.
Yeah, where do you want to name the hotel?
I don't know. I don't know what it's called. I don't know. But yeah, they had a bad time. I hope they did get some money for the tickets.
If there's a group of people in there, say 10 people, there's probably one person in that group going, this is exactly why I came here.
And fair play to them.
Yeah.
You know, you've got to get what you get.
Yeah.
You've got to get what you can.
Scatology.
Yeah, very much.
It's not just about poo, scatology.
No.
It is the study of excrement and other such disgusting things. That is the
Oh,
dictionary
really? So
definition.
vomit and so they would have.
Yeah,
had that.
vomit and like piss and all
You know
sorts.
who's
Yeah.
bang into that? Scatman John.
Didn't he die?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
got shit to death.
Oh, R.I.P. Scatman John.
Yeah.
That was that's the thing. He didn't even know what jazz scatting was.
Jazz skate is just shitting wherever you want without thinking about it.
But that recording of that song, that was just someone had brought in a microphone while he was being pissed on, and he was trying to tell him to stop.
When you started that story, I thought you were being serious. I thought it was like one of those stories, like Dock of a Bay.
Yeah.
And there's him whistling because they were going to put words in and then he died.
Really?
Well, that's what I heard. I thought that's where you were going.
Right.
Yeah, apparently it's like, right, this is the tune. And then they recorded some and then, I don't know, it's probably bollocks, isn't it? That's what I heard, though.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying.
Nice.
I don't know.
There's the intro to It's There.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's Gorillas.
It's coming up. If you listen to that carefully, that intro is beat matched because that was never supposed to be part of the song. That was him asking for the level in his headphones to be turned up. And he's going, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up, it's coming up. It's there.
Right, so they've just made that musical. Yeah, beat matching's a weird thing. I'm fascinated by it, actually, because, I mean, I've never been into DJing or anything like that.
Yeah.
But the blending of songs where you bring the beats of the two songs together to then mix those songs fascinates me. I've been watching a particular DJ the last few days, actually, on YouTube. You can watch his hands from above DJing.
Really?
And I can't even fathom what he's doing.
Magical, isn't it? It's
just
incredible.
Twisting little knobs,
I've
flapping
known
little flaps.
who are ostensibly idiots, but you watch them like.
If you're
mix
listening,
and
hi
stuff.
Ross.
Yeah. Call that. He won't listen. No, he might listen.
You never know.
He does occasionally. Hello Ross, how are you? You well? You moron. No, not Ross. No, but but you watch them mixing, and they're just doing things that I can't comprehend.
No,
it's incredible.
This is what I'm saying. I'm watching this guy, and the guy I'm watching is he's like the biggest at the moment. It's called Marshmallow. Have you heard of him?
I haven't.
He wears a marshmallow on his head.
Okay.
Like a hat.
Yeah.
And you can't see his face. And I was like, he's doing that, and he's looking through a mask.
Yeah.
But it's like, I watched him. He's just twiddling knobs, flapping little flaps, pressing little buttons, keying things, getting them ready. I'm like, I don't know what you're doing,
That's
but
incredible.
I love it. I don't really even like the music. There's a few songs I like, but because he does stuff. That's the thing. My friend about 15 years ago went to watch Chemical Brothers at the Coast Pavilion in South End. I said, like, what did they do 15 years ago? What were they doing? How were they playing music? Were they like, because it's all samples and things. Were they clicking on samples?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Look,
You're
I
not
mean,
the right person to ask then.
No.
I was hoping you'd.
I
pretty
don't
much...
know. Well, I did used to work there, so
Yeah.
I didn't work on that show, so
Wish you had.
yes, me too. That
Then
would have
we'd
been
know. Then we'd know,
That would have
wouldn't
been
we?
good and informative.
Mm.
No, I don't know.
But anyway, look it up. I just find it incredible.
I now as somebody, so I'm a drummer.
Mm-hmm. And you drummed on the Pranks and Firth podcast.
I did indeed, yeah,
and that's why you listen every week to
Yes.
your.
Absolutely, I've heard it. Sounds really good. I've still not got around to it.
No, I know that you did because I think you gigged with Panks or something, and he mentioned so you went, "Oh, I've not heard it." It's like, what?
Yeah, no. But the problem is, I want to listen from the start, but the first ones aren't available, are they? You deleted them, right?
I mean, they're behind a Patreon paywall.
Oh, are they?
Certainly.
Right. I didn't look that far into it.
No. But yeah, we found.
But I like to listen to stuff from the start.
Yeah, some of them don't exist.
I can't remember if it was you or Panks that said, "Don't bother listening to it because there's going to be in jokes that you're not going to get."
He might have been Panks said that. To be fair to him,
Yeah.
Yeah, less so now. We just chat and.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I will listen. I will.
You really don't need to. But yeah, we
I'd like to,
deleted some because I didn't see the point of it.
I'm on it.
Yeah, you definitely are now, always. But yeah, we just chat now. And the in-jokes tend to be... Because he comes up with incredible theories that they're so ridiculous, but they've got enough truth in them for you to believe it might be true.
Oh,
Right.
you should have me on.
Well, we don't have anyone on.
I've got an interesting one, but you should have me on.
I want to hear what
Or I'll tell Justin my theory.
Tell
and
me.
we can claim that
Can you
as
tell me
his
a
own.
theory now?
Oh, it's really long and it'll make me sound like an idiot, and I'll have to edit it all out. So.
Oh, okay. So Justin's got a theory that you know.
Imagine if it's the same theory.
You know the ants. Have you seen those ants that when the spores?
It's not
of
the same theory. I do know what you're talking about.
And
There,
they
yeah.
drop the spores on the ants, and it goes into their brain.
Yeah.
And then they climb up the tree, and then they dig their heels in.
Yeah.
And then a root grows through their brain.
Because the spore takes over the ant's
Yes,
brain.
makes it think
and
it wants to
makes
climb.
it climb. Yeah.
And then basically this root grows through its head into the tree, and then drops its spores down onto the ants below, and the same thing happens over and over.
Creating an army of zombie ants.
Well, that die to spread the word.
Have you seen The Girl with All the Gifts?
No.
So that film is basically based similarly on that sort of concept. In that, like, there's spores that sort of travel around, and that infects like all the people, and they turn into zombies. But then, like, it infects all the trees and stuff, and it's basically that, like, going mad.
That's what
It's pretty cool.
Panks thinks. What if basically that's what we are all doing? Like and bearing in mind, I don't think he actually believes this, but he's just got all these theories.
I should point out my theory. I don't believe it in the slightest bit,
Right.
but it makes sense.
Yeah, his one is, what if it's not necessarily aliens, but like something on Earth makes us act this way to kill each other, wipe each other out, start again, rebuild, kill each other, do this, do that, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Procreate. There's something in us, a parasite that lives within us that makes us do the things we do.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah.
He
also tells a story about...
because there's a level of sort of... there's innate behaviours within all of us that differ from sort of quote unquote clan to clan.
Yeah, that's
like,
true.
Sort of depending on where you are, like, you will behave in certain manners, and you can, like, imagine if there's just certain boroughs, as it were, that are infected by slightly different strains of that
There you
same
go.
thing.
It all adds up.
Wouldn't that explain a
I'm
lot?
coming round to it.
Yeah.
Coming round to the idea.
I think he could be wrong.
It's definitely wrong. But it's nice that he, if we didn't have that, we wouldn't have a podcast. So.
Yes, absolutely. My point being, sorry, you were about to tell another story.
Oh no, I was just going to say he's got another story about a woman fingering Myra Hindley, but that's unrelated.
Tell me that on a card, anyway.
Yeah,
That sounds great. That's amazing. No, obviously, I'm a drummer, and I have OCD to sort of, even a mild extent. But that means that when I'm in a club, and thankfully I haven't been in a club for years.
Yeah, you've done well.
Like, quite often you can hear the DJ, and he'll be beat matching, but a song will start and I'll be like, oh, that's the wrong BPM.
Yeah, they're not quite right.
Yeah, and like you can either hear him messing it up or you can hear it change.
Is that him trying to alter it as it's happening?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like
good, is it?
they beat match so that, but the beats are so different that they start off a completely different tempo. But I don't think most people notice. But I'm there just going,
yeah, I can hear all of that.
He's done this wrong.
Yeah.
Fuck that up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'd love to be able to do it, but I don't like that kind of music, really.
Yeah.
But I'd love
It's
the
not for me.
technological work that's going. The work that's going into it is incredible.
Absolutely.
Have you finished?
Yes.
So have I. It got very strong. Oh no, I haven't.
It did get strong.
Yeah, I reckon that's a teabag out.
I think that could be a teabag
so
out.
At the end there,
So,
that was too much.
There you go. If you're drinking the Teapigs licorice and peppermint, I would suggest paying attention to the
I'd say leave it in for a bit, but the very end of that was
longer
too
than it
strong.
said, but probably about 10 minutes max.
I didn't bring a little bag to put the tea
No,
bags in.
we've not thought about this at all, but we probably need to rinse the cups out also.
That's going to be a mistake. That's going to be an error, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well,
I mean, how long have we done?
I don't know. It's your podcast.
It is my podcast, I tell you what. That's why I brought the mouse. We've done 40 minutes.
40 minutes.
Well, but a bit less than that.
Okay.
We've got time for another tea. Do you want another one?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
And we're back. Yeah. Thanks for staying there. Can't believe what a weird bit of the podcast that was.
Yeah.
Just 20
I've got to
minutes.
leave it all in as well.
So what's this one? Super Blends Calm.
Yes, so this is of the Twinings Super Blends range. And thanks again to Twinings for sending me the free teas.
I used to... Did you burp?
Yep.
Yeah, I just did a big burp. I think that other one is good for your digestion.
Yeah, makes sense.
I used to walk past the Twinings shop in London all the time.
Oh, yeah?
And the thing I loved most about them was the wooden boxes that the...
Smell that.
Smell the... Oh, I want to eat that.
Is it just me, or does that smell like Christmas?
Do you mean that literally? Or are you... Is that an expression that you use?
It's a little bit of an expression I use. But that reminds me of something. It reminds me of Twinings Calm.
Yeah, that's like a cinnamony type.
Yeah, cinnamon. That is what I was trying to think of.
Is it chamomile?
Yeah. Well, that
Apple.
yeah, spiced.
Apple. It's apple. Spiced apple. That's what it is in my mind. Spiced apple.
Well, this is spiced
I
chamomile.
wish it was Christmas. How long till Christmas? Depending on when this goes out.
Yeah. Well, if you listen to this, it was going out this week.
There's no backlog at the Deaves.
No, it's very stressful.
See, we've got this situation at the moment because Panks is ill and has been for about a month.
Oh yeah.
And we've got nothing. I was like, we should have recorded it.
He's getting better, isn't he? Still the old.
It's all related.
Right.
Yeah,
Christ,
he'll be
bless
back.
him.
He'll be back.
He's
been speaking
he's
to
a
him.
strong lad.
He can talk. He can talk. So
Yeah.
we'll be back soon, I'm sure.
So
Or he'll die. One of the two.
Yeah.
Either way.
And then you're gonna have to have me with my mad theories.
You can come round every week and yeah. So you're going to be mum? Racist? Sexist? You're going to be the parent with the hot water?
What? Oh right.
That's an expression, isn't it? You're going to be mum to pour tea.
I see.
And then I realised that was
right. You're going to be the woman in the
yeah.
relationship.
You're going to be the woman and make the tea for crying out loud. My mum never made the tea. Like she never cooked. She didn't. My dad did all of that.
Really?
Mm.
What did she do?
She went to work.
Did she
but
dance?
She can't cook. My dad had a stroke
Right.
last year, and I was like, it's the worst thing that could have happened. I remember saying to him in the hospital, this is the worst thing that could have happened to you, not just because of the illness, but because she's going to have to cook now, and it will be disgusting. But this is not going to help you getting better.
That is sad on many levels.
Yeah, it was sad for him because of the cooking, as I discussed.
Yeah.
He's doing fine now. Shall I tell you a funny story about what I did?
Go on,
when he had
lighten
a
that up.
stroke? So he had a stroke, which doesn't seem funny.
It's not the start of a typical funny story.
But he is a very, very funny man. So
Okay.
he enjoyed it.
He enjoyed the stroke.
He did. The weird thing, I've got two things here. So, what happened was, so me and my brother and my mum, we went to the hospital to obviously see him, because that's the good thing to do when your dad's had a stroke. So he had a stroke, so we've gone to visit him, but you were only allowed two because he was in like high intensity ward, which isn't a musical thing. It was.
I didn't.
It was in
like High School Musical.
I don't know. You just got to say things sometimes, Si, and see what happens. Don't you? Sometimes they work, sometimes don't. If you're not questioned, sometimes you just get a laugh anyway.
Yes. Yeah, and you're welcome. I questioned you. So.
He shot me right down.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I might even leave that in.
You can leave it all in.
Yeah. I often do.
You have to. You can't leave the failures in, otherwise no one believes the
Everyone thinks you're
successes.
too perfect.
Yeah. So yeah, we can only see him two at a time. And then, so me and my mum had been there for we've been there the whole time, but after my brother was having a break, essentially, down at the Costa Coffee in the hospital. After a couple of hours, like, right, let's go and get some lunch. We'll send him back up. We'll go down there. Say you go up and sit with the dad, and we'll go and have some lunch, blah, blah, blah. So Dad was sort of half with it. He was with it, but he couldn't, because he had a stroke, he couldn't talk, couldn't communicate. But someone had given him a little whiteboard and a pen.
Okay.
But he can't write.
Yeah.
And it was like, this is no good. He can't work it out. It's not like, I can't speak, but I can write.
Yeah.
It made no sense to him at that point.
Yeah. That's just
at all. Yeah, it was weird. So the only thing he could half write was the word Monday, and it sort of, some of the letters were back to front, and it didn't mean Monday. It's just all he could do.
Right.
So what I did was I wrote on the whiteboard and put the pen in his hand, because he was in and out of consciousness. And I put, "You're not my real son." And then we sent my brother up. So when he got there, it just had this note like he'd written something. But yeah, it's good.
Oh,
we all
funny.
laughed. We did. We all laughed. But the other thing was, speaking to my dad about it now, because I suffer terribly with morbid thoughts.
Right.
And so I talked to my dad about it a lot. And because he's the opposite, he just, he's very at ease.
Mm.
And he said the weirdest thing was, like, when he had the strokes, he was very, very aware, but in a coma. So he was just before he's sort of going in and out of consciousness, like in this sort of coma.
Yeah.
And he remembers thinking, well, I'm going to die. Like, this is definitely me dying. And he knew he'd had a stroke, because he'd had a stroke and it was just getting worse and worse and worse. So he'd had the stroke, was in hospital, could talk, and then it got worse.
Right.
So he knows he's had a stroke. So he's laying there and he's thinking, oh, right, no, I'm going to die now. Like, this has reached the point. I can tell that I'm on the edge.
So your brain's working, right, during a stroke? It's just the connection between your brain and your blood.
Well, he had blood leaking into his brain, essentially.
Jesus.
So he's like this. He's absolutely thinks he's going to die. Like, without question, he knows this is happening. I'm going to die. So he's like, right, I can't fall asleep. I need to just stay with it. I need to get as much of this as possible, because the next time I drift away, I'm gone forever.
Right. Wow.
Next thing he remembers was him just going, oh, I've just nodded off. And he said, so all that fear of dying and like, don't fall asleep, don't die. He was like, but then basically he went, oh, I'm going to have a little snooze. So he's like, it just wouldn't matter. He was like, he realised then that it just doesn't matter. He was like, of all that stuff, they have that whole thing, oh my God, it's terrible, I'm going to die. Eventually, he said, I just would have fallen asleep.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered. I was like, yeah, that's quite a nice way of thinking about it. Like, he did not care at that point.
That's mad, isn't it? Like, well, that's the thing. When you die, you don't care about it all that much.
That's what he was saying. He just did not care. It wouldn't have mattered to him. But the other thing he said was, when we thought he was at his absolute worst, like, we were like, I never thought he was going to die. Like, I don't know why, because I'm a pessimist normally, but I thought, no, I think he'll probably be all right. At that point, that's where he thought, oh, I've come back. Because he'd reached rock bottom. We could see him going rock bottom. We didn't know he'd finished hitting rock bottom. Whereas for him, he was like, oh, I'm done. I'm on the way back.
Right.
Which is really odd as well.
Yeah.
So we're kind of going, oh my God, this is horrible. Look at him. He's got all this stuff coming out of him, like pipes and tubes and, machines. Whereas he's going, oh, right, that's done.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's phenomenal. Wow. He's doing all right now. He's fine.
That's insane.
Driving again now, which seems a mistake, but yeah, he's good.
Now, I don't want to sort of equate it to the same thing.
It could be.
But it's just sort of along the lines of, like, accepting death. I once had flu once, basically, like, and I've only had flu.
It's similar to a
once.
Stroke.
Yeah, it's basically the same thing. No. But like, it's really bad, and
proper flu.
Proper flu. Yeah. And I've only had it the once, so I can sort of say quite happily, like, yeah, that's what that was. But like, I got to the point where I was hallucinating and stuff, and I, like, all I knew was that I'd fallen asleep. But then the next thing I knew was I was floating over the top of my own funeral. Wow. And I was just watching it. And I just remember immediately going, oh, right, I died. And, like, I wasn't bothered. No. Like, it was okay. And I just accepted it so quickly. I just went, oh, right, I've died, have I? Cool.
Just shows you your body knows what it's doing.
I've got a lovely little joke that comes off the back of that.
Oh, really?
But it's in my new show, which you can see on August the 11th at Camden Comedy Club.
Oh, what's it going to be called, this new show?
Size Matters.
Oh.
Yeah, same show as...
A new show.
As I've been doing.
When you said new show, I thought you meant...
Oh, no, not a brand new show.
I mean, I've listened to the episode with Matt Adlington where he takes you to task for this.
Yes. Like a real piece of shit.
He will do that.
Yeah.
Whilst also not producing new shows himself.
No, absolutely. No, he's done a preview once.
Where are you doing the show?
Well, that is it's Camden Comedy Club on Camden Fringe.
Is that Camden Head or is that?
It is Camden Head. Yeah.
That's where I did my Camden show.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, for what it's worth.
I've never been there.
It's alright.
Is it nice?
Yeah,
looks nice. I've only ever seen pictures of people there.
It's a nice little comedy room. You get it filled, or get 10 people.
Cool. I'll take 10 people.
Yeah.
Oh,
don't take 10 people.
No, I'd like to turn people away. Not
Yeah, no, I didn't do that.
From it being full.
One night I had it really, really busy. A couple of nights I had sort of 5 or 6.
Oh, okay.
6 or 7, 10.
Yeah.
And one night I pulled it because it was like 3.
Oh, really?
I've got no interest in doing that.
I did my last Edinburgh show of my last show to 2 people.
Yeah, I've got no interest in
the
that.
day before, completely full room, and then on the final day, 2 people.
See, my last...
But it was one of my favourite shows. It was really fun.
I can't do it. I hate it so much.
Yeah.
Like, at Edinburgh last year, there was one show where there was about 4 people in there, and I said, I'm not going to do it. You're not going to like it. I can't do it. I just, for every single person individually, I go, you won't like this. You won't like this.
Yeah.
I put that on them, which is unfair. But they were like 2 Swedish people and someone who was like, oh, I thought the show that I wanted to see was starting, but it's not starting for another like 2 hours.
Right.
So I've come into yours. And I was like, yeah, I wouldn't bother.
Crikey.
But I hate it. I was saying to my
Who
girlfriend
was the other
yesterday-
person? Just really disappointed that they couldn't see your show.
Oh, I don't know.
4th person, they're just wearing a Ash Frith t-shirt.
Yeah. Well, there were some people like that because of just before I did it, I did some stuff with on YouTube for these YouTuber guys,
Okay.
and they have loads and loads of followers, and they literally would come to see the show, but off the back of that, which is incredible.
Really?
Yeah. Which
Who
is
are
nice.
they? I need to get in touch with them.
Bartians is what they're called. It's Stuart Ashen and Barry Lewis.
Right.
But Stuart Ashen reviews stuff on his sofa,
Okay.
and Barry Lewis cooks different stuff, often big versions of regular sized food, and they combined and made this show themselves. And yeah, it's good fun to do.
Interesting.
Yes. But yeah, people come to watch me because of those shows, which is phenomenal, I think, when it happens.
That's all right.
When people actually are like, oh, I've come because of the thing you did.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay.
That's
well,
quite cool.
I'm sorry that this is going to happen now then.
Yeah.
But I hate flyering. I hate getting people to go, oh, come and see my show. Come in. Even at comedy night, when you're starting out, do you remember where, I don't know if you've done it, where they go, oh, there's only 10 people in. Can you go downstairs and try and drag some people?
Yeah.
I cannot do that.
Yeah.
Come and see this. Why? Is it going to be good? No, probably not. Are you funny? No.
Yeah.
Oh, is your Edinburgh? That's it. Oh, is it funny? What's your show about? Oh, I can't really tell you because that's kind of the point of the show. Is a bit of a surprise. Oh, okay. Well, is it funny? No, don't bother. Sorry.
Well,
no.
those people shouldn't come in anyway.
No, that's
But
what I mean.
I sort of have an attitude when I do that sort of thing, because I will do it. But obviously, if you personalise yourself to them before you start, and that's not who you are on stage,
Exactly.
then they're already in the incorrect mindset
Come
about
on,
what they're about
lads,
to
in
see.
you come.
Yeah. So, like, if I have to go around and tell people to come in to see it, then I say I'll do it in my character, but it is me, really.
Yeah. I can't.
So, like, but if someone says to me, "Oh, are you funny?" I say yes, and they say, "Oh, tell us something funny," and I say, "Come and see the show." If you're not interested in seeing the show off this conversation, you're not going to like it.
Yeah, that's true. But yeah, so that's the weird
tends
thing.
to get better results because then you only get people in that are actually not going to be dickheads.
Yeah.
Generally, not always.
But I think it's a weird thing with doing stand-up, isn't
Previewing
it?
Cambridge the other week.
Well, Cambridge is often like that.
Yeah.
I find it really weird stand-up because I wouldn't consider myself to be an arrogant person at all.
Yeah.
But when people say, "Oh, you do stand-up," do you think you're funny? I say, yeah. Otherwise, I would be mental for going up on stage in front of however many people at however many comedy clubs and trying to be funny.
Yeah.
If you don't absolutely believe you're funny, you've got no business at all in doing stand-up. Is my belief.
Absolutely.
And there are plenty of people out there who do think that.
Yeah.
You shouldn't be doing stand-up.
Yeah.
Not you shouldn't.
No.
You should be.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool.
But I just think
Let's go on a poster.
I think it's crazy that
you should be doing stand-up.
if you have to have that arrogance. I think when it comes to stand-up, you have to have arrogance.
Absolutely.
About yourself,
Yeah,
not to be a prick, but to be confident. And that's like if you go to up the creek or wherever, and you go on there meekly going, "Oh, hi everyone."
Yeah.
They're gonna eat you alive.
Yeah.
You've got to go on there and go, "I am the funniest person you've ever seen."
Yeah.
Even if you don't really believe that.
Well, have you done the trifecta of the stand gigs?
No, never ever done that. Never done.
They're incredible, like amazing gigs.
Yeah.
And when I went to Edinburgh, basically I got stuck in traffic on the way up there, and I'm going to apologise if I have told this story on the podcast before, because I can't remember if I have. I tell it all the time. But I got stuck in traffic on the journey up there, so I ended up getting to Edinburgh about 15 minutes before I had to be in the venue.
Yeah.
So like I didn't have time to relax or anything, and I just got there and I was like just
ramped up
and I got into the gig, like I just got changed, and then shortly after that I was on stage, and I walked on stage, and I like obviously I sort of I have a level of power in pulling odd faces anyway.
Yeah.
But I just walked out there and I must have had a really odd look on my face because I was just like, what's happening?
Yeah,
such a
because you've just driven
day.
for 8 hours in
more than that,
sat in a car.
Yeah, and so I just walked out on stage with like a sort of look on my face, and that got a laugh, and then I just eked that out for about, I don't know, 20 seconds, which when you're not saying anything, it's quite a long time.
Yeah.
And I was just getting laughter, and then I just went into it and sort of, I also unravelled a bit on stage, and it was good fun. But then I went to go and do Glasgow the following night, and then I thought, right, I'm doing this on purpose now because they like that.
Cannot do it.
Well, I did.
Oh, really?
Yeah, longer. So it was at least 30 seconds, and it was incredible rolling laughter, and I was like, I feel amazing. And then I went to Newcastle, and I went up there and I pulled a slight face, and then a woman in the front row went, "You can do it."
Did you say, "I know I can"?
I did, yeah.
Yeah,
and that's the only way. So like, either people believe,
yeah,
but
she was trying to be
calm.
calm. She thought you'd frozen up.
Yeah, Jordan Gray was saying, like, imagine if you go up there and you're that nervous. Like, surely they must understand that if you're going up there with the confidence to.
Have you never blinked?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's a different thing because I feel like I have a look of actual panic on my face where I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. Although I did a gig before where, see, I used to open because what happened was a friend of mine had cancer, and he
all of your stories start like this.
Yeah. So he had cancer, but he had his bollock off, and then he came to a gig like the following week as a sort of just getting out of the house
with the other one out.
Yes, with it out, and I said, right, I'll do a joke. It was in Colchester, and it was a really, really rough gig. And,
where was it?
It was in this bar, and it was just full of pricks, basically.
Was it the one that you and I often do?
No.
Okay.
No, not. A different one, around the corner.
Oh, okay.
And
in a hole in the wall?
No, it was in what is a nightclub, essentially.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I said to him, right, I'll do a joke about anything to start with, just for you, because of your cancer thing. Like you say, and I was not a good enough comedian to sort of do that.
Yeah.
I said, what do you want me to do? Like, joke about anything. I'll open with it. No, I'm just about to go on stage. I'm standing next to him. I was like, I'll do a joke about anything to open with. You just tell me now and I'll do it. And he went, no, I want you to not tell a joke for as long as possible. And I was like, what? And he's like, yeah, just you have to not get a laugh for as long as you can. And I went, oh, God. So I went on stage and I explained about the importance of opening strong at a gig. Like, you've got to win them on side, especially when it's a rough crowd, and you've really got to hit them hard with something funny, make the first thing you say a joke, blah, blah, blah. And they were creasing up. It was like the funniest thing I'd ever said to anyone, ever. But I wasn't. At no point did I break that for about a minute, maybe. Just going, you've got to get an early laugh. You've got to do this. You've got to do that. And they're laughing and laughing and laughing. And inside, I could just remember my internal monologue going, just start. This is ridiculous. You've got to. This is awful.
You've got no way out.
Yeah, there's no way out of this. And it was brilliant. But from that moment on, I realised it doesn't matter, because I'd been quite formulaic. I'd stuck to my script.
Yeah.
I was like, I need to do these jokes in this order. From that moment on, I realised it doesn't matter what you say or do, because the audience have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah.
And you can mix you can put all your jokes in a hat and pull them out one by one.
Yeah.
And the audience don't know. You'll find a way to link them as you go.
Yeah.
In short form comedy, not long form set.
Yeah.
And that was the best.
Well, you
thing
say that. That's Stuart Goldsmith's show that he's doing.
Oh, is it?
Primer, yeah. He's got like a bunch of jokes and a bunch of ideas, but none of it is in a particular order. It's just sort of he knows what the stuff is, and he's just seeing what comes out of it.
Well, see, that sounds like a preview to me.
I mean, it was a preview.
Okay.
But that's what he's planning to do.
Okay. But because Beck Hill, I believe, did one where all of her jokes were written on Post-it notes, and throughout the show, she would just pluck it off and tell that story.
Yes.
So it's basically just
I think I saw that show.
It's literally just a framework to put a show on.
Yeah.
Like, because you just need a thing.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Sorry, I took us there. I don't know why.
No.
But yeah,
your mate with one bollock.
yeah. Well, that's because he did that. But yeah, comedy, eh?
Yeah, it's a wild beast.
It really, truly is.
Yeah.
I enjoy it a lot. Someone I had a heckle on Saturday night, where I mean, it was one of the best gigs I've ever had on Saturday night. But it was.
Where was that?
It was up the creek.
Oh, okay.
It
I assumed as such. I saw your post.
Incredibly boisterous.
Was this where someone come up to you afterwards and said, "You keep going"?
Yeah, you keep going. You'll get a
break.
break. I'm like, I'm at the best comedy club in the country.
Yeah.
This guy in the front row. So it was going really well, let's say, and this guy came back so late from the break, like 3-4 minutes late,
Yeah.
and they just come in with 2 beers and started pouring one beer into the other beer. I was like, what are you doing? Like, you've come back 4 minutes late, which is rude.
Yeah.
You're sitting second row, and you're now pouring your beer together. And he went, "Are you struggling, mate?" And I was like, "No, I'm not." I wasn't. I might be. And then, but then there's like this feeling of the audience go, "Oh, he's going to destroy him."
Yeah.
I'm like, I can't destroy him, because then, like, there is a thing of you have to be very clever when you're taking someone down like that, because you can completely turn the room off if you go too hard. So I did some stuff. I would go into it now. It went well. And then, but I could tell he was a little bit pissed off with the put down that I gave him. But his girlfriend laughed because it involved her.
Okay.
Then
That will absolutely piss a quote unquote alpha male off.
Yes, so that is what happened. Yeah. So then in the next section, I'm talking about something, and he comes back late again. But this time, as he's walking to stage, he's just scratching his bollocks. Like, he's walking up the aisle back to his seat, which is dead centre.
Yeah.
And he's just, like, literally, flipping around with his bollocks.
Provocatively. And not, I don't mean in a sexy manner, but
no,
like
he's not even doing it to me. He's just, as he's walking.
He's just doing it.
Mate, you've come back late again, and you're scratching yourself at me. It's so weird. And he said something about, where have you been? He went, I went and got some food. And I was like, what? Why? Like, why have you gone and got some food? And he went, because I thought you might have eaten all the cheeseburgers looking at you. I was like, wow, like, that is
brutal,
huge for you to be doing that at this stage. And then the audience again are like, what are you going to do about this arsehole? But still, I mean, as I say, I dealt with it well, but all I wanted to do was go, off. I'm the editor to save you the bleeping. F off, you effing C. But you can't do that.
You cannot do that. They don't like that.
You'll lose the rest of the room. Even if that room want you to tear him apart, and you just, sometimes you want to tell them to F off their effing C.
Yeah.
You can't. You've got to be quick and funny. Because the whole evening started with this woman doing a terrible heckle. She was from a hen pub. Oh, we're going for it.
God, no, sorry, no.
No, let's do it.
I got.
Oh, that's quite pleasant.
Oh, that's nice. That is much more mild than the other one.
Yeah, the other one.
It got too strong. I'll say that. The first sip was incredible.
Yeah.
Shortly after that, it got too strong.
I reckon about halfway through.
Hmm.
It's that. Yeah, this woman gave a bad heckle, and I then spent a couple of minutes explaining what a heckle has to be. Oh, the smoothness of the vanilla.
Yeah, it's right there. It's still there. It's on my tongue.
I think the apples shines through for me.
Yeah.
But I quite like.
Talking about apples.
I do quite enjoy explaining comedy when I'm doing comedy.
Yes.
I quite like that. It has to be funny though, otherwise you're losing it.
Yeah. Well, I've got a few bits where that ends up happening because, like, I've done it in the anthropomorphised animals bit.
Yeah.
Like where sort of some of those answers to some of those suggestions will kill every single time without fail. Some of them.
Do your listeners know what the bit is?
No, I don't think so.
You probably should give it some context.
So I do a bit where I discuss anthropomorphized animals in kids' stories and talk about what that story would become if you turn the anthropomorphized animals back into humans, so that stories become their true dark and bizarre selves.
It's a good bit.
Yeah, but there's some of those answers. Like sometimes there's ones that will get like a sort of every single time we'll get a solid 7 out of 10.
Mm-hmm.
There's a couple of the answers that will get 10 out of 10, 7 out of 10 times. And 3 out of 10 times.
Well, where are we now?
Complete silence, and I just have to explain why it was funny.
Yeah.
And then you see people go, "Oh, that's really clever."
Yeah.
And it's still a win because you're still not losing. But
I love it sometimes when you do a bit and then you know that it's just you and 3 people that have got it, and then you go, right. Do you just leave it with those 3 people, or do you say, see the reason that's funny?
Yeah. There's one of my jokes has a Star Wars reference, and like sometimes the entire room will get on board, and then occasionally there'll be like 2 guys in a corner going, just like, yes, that's for them.
That's for you guys. So about this tea.
Yeah, let's talk about the tea.
So I've realised that I've sidetracked us from tea.
No, not at all. It's this podcast was never intended to be that
tea
much
is
about
the framework that you're hanging this podcast on.
It is. I recognise that.
I was explaining to the listener. This is a smooth, delicate, lightly spiced blend with a lovely hint of sweetness. The chicory root. So I should just say, they're a moment of calm, spiced chamomile and vanilla with roasted chicory root.
Yeah. I should also just say that Ash is reading this off of the box.
Hey.
And not just
44% chamomile. I don't even know what chamomile is.
Tea. I don't know.
You put chamomile on chicken pox.
Do you?
Chamomile lotion.
That's calamine.
Cool. Is that the same?
Yeah,
Tastes the same.
It's not the same. What do you eat it?
What's calamine?
I'm going to look it up.
Wow. Roasted chicory root, 17%. Apple pieces. Apple pieces? It's got vitamin B3 in it. That contributes to a normal psychological function. What does that mean?
A psychological function?
Yeah, it says B3 contributes to normal psychological function.
Well, clears your brain. You get it in vegetables and stuff, B3.
1 cup a day is part of a varied and balanced diet and a healthy lifestyle.
I imagine it allows your synapses to fire off correctly.
Oh, they haven't been doing that for a long time, mate.
Calamine, also known as calamine lotion, is a medication used to treat mild itchiness.
And what's it made of? Chamomile.
Chamomile? No. Medical use doesn't say.
Wow.
Oh, calamine is a combination of zinc oxide and ferric oxide.
Oh.
The lotion is produced with additional ingredients such as phenol and calcium hydroxide.
Oh, it sounds delicious.
Mm.
Well, all my life I've thought it was the same thing.
No.
I mean, not all my life. I didn't. Before I was 8, I didn't give a shit. I imagine. It's a weird thing to say, isn't it? All my life I've thought that. True.
This is unravelled somewhat.
Can I tell you about why I always put fresh water in the kettle?
Go on.
So I was working for a company that used to look after banks, and we got called.
You've told me this.
Have I?
You told me this in a car journey. Yeah. Go on, keep telling for the podcast.
So I got called because they thought they'd had a break-in. When I got there, the ceiling tiles had come down, and they said, and we think they broke the kettle because
so horrendous.
It has been horrible.
Yeah.
For days since this ceiling come down.
Yeah.
So I open up the kettle, and a
little bit of a minor investigation that should have been done.
I tipped the water out, which was black, and there was an element in the bottom of the kettle. Now, you don't get that anymore. Like, it was a curled element.
Yeah.
And trapped under that element was the skeleton of a mouse. It had boiled off all of its flesh,
Oh God.
and just the skeleton remained. And the water was black because it was contained.
So horrendous.
And then I said to the women, so they didn't know that this had happened, and I said to the women in the bank, I said, do you, when you fill your kettle, just fill it via the nozzle? And they went, yeah. I went, right. And I thought, I've got a decision to make here.
Yeah.
So I just said to them, the element has burnt out in your kettle. You need to get a new kettle. This one is burnt out. And that's why it tastes disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that, and I thought, I wouldn't ever want to know that I'd been drinking mouse
But
soup.
as soon as you start to think, for even like a split second, this tastes a bit funny.
Look
I think
in the
it might be
kettle.
something in the kettle.
Have a look.
Open it up. Oh, there is the majority of a mouse there.
So what happened
Instead
was
of
the
using
ceiling
it for
tile had
so long that it
boiled
melts.
it away. Yeah. The ceiling tile, the mouse has obviously been on the ceiling tile, fallen through,
Yeah.
hit the nozzle, gone down the nozzle. It then nibbled its way through the mesh inside the nozzle, like the
Right.
filter, fallen in, obviously drowned because there's no way out of a kettle if you're a
Yeah.
mouse. Boiled and boiled and boiled alive, or dead, boiled to nothing.
Yeah.
And now every time I make a cup of tea, I take the lid off, I pour it out, I look inside, I fill it again.
Yeah.
Every time.
Wise, I think.
Probably 15 years ago that happened.
Yeah. Changed your life.
It really did.
That's a life-changing experience.
Yeah. And these are the things that shape us.
Yeah.
And I've told my son, and he does the same.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if that was me, I think I'd probably never use a kettle again, which would have
Yeah.
really change this podcast.
Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd find it very, very difficult to switch off. But I've got that about a million things. Like we were talking earlier, when I was it was 1986, so I would have been 6.
Yeah.
And my brother bought a joke that you put in tea.
Right.
These little tiny little tablets, like little microdose, like little tiny Sweetex tablets.
Okay.
And they plop to the bottom of the tea, and then when you're drinking the tea, they gradually have absorbed water. They come up and they're like worms.
Oh, fuck that.
And he was like, "Oh, I'll make everyone tea," and then my dad's like, "Oh my God, what's this?" And my brother's laughing.
Yeah.
My mum's like, "Oh my God, what's this?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "I can't drink it.
Yeah.
It's disgusting." And he's like, "I didn't do yours." I'm like,
Sorry, were you drinking tea when you were 6 years old?
"Yeah, I love tea.
Good grief.
I've drunk tea all my life. I used to have tea in a Tommy Tippy bottle. Genuinely.
You didn't?
I did.
Seriously?
Yeah.
That's incredible.
I've only just moved over to caffeine free in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I mean, that's like children shouldn't have caffeine before the age of.
No.
Yeah.
Well, shouldn't have caffeine. I mean, it's ridiculous we
Shouldn't
give
have, yeah.
children caffeine.
Yeah.
Like, that's the thing. So
That's
my
unreal.
son, I'll give my son Pepsi Max because it hasn't got sugar in it,
Yeah.
but it's got
Still got
more caffeine in than anything else.
Wow.
But, you know, bad parent. Sue me. But yeah, I was drinking tea. I've drunk tea and 2 sugars for, 37 years.
Good grief.
Yeah.
37 years? You started
when I was
drinking tea when
3.
you were 3?
Yeah, I reckon. Well, it was in a bottle.
Yeah.
I used to have tea in a bottle. People did that then.
I
My
don't
mum
think they did.
smoked. I used to sit on my mum's lap while she had a cigarette. It was a different time.
They
in
still
the
do
80s.
that now.
Yeah, but it was encouraged.
Yeah, you judge people less for it.
Yeah. We used to have an ashtray in the lounge.
On top
Imagine-
of your head.
We had an, yeah.
On a bonnet.
We had an ashtray that was like this massive, tall ashtray. So you could have it by the side of the sofa and not have
Gone
to...
are the days of a decorative ashtray.
That's what it was, yeah. But every so often, we'd knock it over and there'd be so much ash.
Yeah.
God, it was
Is
disgusting.
that how you got your name?
Yeah, that's the way they named me.
She was smoking whilst giving birth and it fell on your head.
I bet she was.
Oh, watch out for the ash.
She said that
Good
when you
name.
used to go to the doctor would offer you a cigarette. There was
Really?
a thing on the desk, a cigarette stand.
Yeah, one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And so,
Hopefully the listeners know what I mean by that.
yeah. Have a cigarette. Come on.
Yeah.
Tuck into that.
A cigarette dispenser.
I've never
Of
smoked.
sorts.
Have you ever smoked?
I haven't, no.
No, it's silly.
No, I never had any interest.
I
thought it was
definitely
disgusting.
respect people less who smoke. Not just because of that, but just I think they're stupid. I think they're a bit thick.
I've had this conversation a few times. Imagine starting
Yeah.
smoking as an adult
Yeah.
now.
Mental.
It's insane.
Yeah.
Like, you know the risks.
Yeah, it's like if I
It's
said
well
to you,
documented.
if you eat Monster Munch, you will get cancer.
Yeah.
Would you eat Monster Munch? No. Monster Munch.
Which
that was
flavour?
a bad
Yeah,
example.
that was a bad example.
Bad example. Yeah, but you know what I mean. You just think it was stupid. If you said to, like, friends of mine, a couple of friends of mine smoke, if I said, oh, if you press this red button here, it will feel nice, a little bit nice, but you will get cancer. Press the button. They'll go, no.
Yeah.
Bizarre. And you'll stink.
Yeah. It will smell. Nobody does it anymore because it's now antisocial. Because,
Yeah.
I mean, you and I are from a time when people smoked in pubs.
Yeah. You and I.
Yeah.
You're 34.
Yeah, I worked in pubs.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I mean, I
Both
remember
before and after the
you'll hear
smoking
lots of
ban.
people talking about this, like the fact that pubs and clubs stink because they didn't used to stink.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah,
You just
they were
couldn't
just
smell it.
covered up with smoke.
Yeah.
I used to go play snooker regularly,
Yeah.
and come back and just stink. I wasn't allowed to get into the bed with my girlfriend because it was like, you stink so much like cigarettes, you need to go
Yeah.
and shower and scrub yourself because it stinks so bad.
When I worked in a bar when I was 19, and everyone's smoking wildly, I used to get home, and my favourite thing would be to get immediately in the shower because you could smell the smoke getting out of your hair.
Yeah, bloody hell.
That's too much, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's horrendous.
yeah. Not good at
No.
all. My mate lives in Vegas, and you can buy like marijuana on the shelf, like in little bags
Really?
of in the supermarket. So imagine smelling that. That stinks.
That's insane.
I mean, I don't care if people want to do it. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But the smell of it is atrocious.
Yeah.
There you go. That's that. So that's sorted. That's
Good.
where you came, wasn't it? For
That's
my
drugs
opinion
covered.
on that.
Yeah, drugs and cigarettes and.
Cool.
Well, back to the T-emergency questions.
Oh yes, go on.
That's what I named them on the last one.
To emergency.
Yeah, because I called them emergency questions a couple of times, and I got pulled up for that being.
We didn't have any.
Harry's thing.
Didn't have any PPJs in here, did we?
Didn't have any people. He's listened. We haven't had any PPJs because I think that would have been disgusting. Can you have?
Gross.
I don't think you can have milk with this one. I don't think I recommend
you
it.
wouldn't.
I mean, you could, but I
wouldn't.
would not recommend it.
Wouldn't drink milk anyway. Oh, that's my stomach.
That was my stomach, I think.
Was it?
I don't know. It's one of us. Maybe it's both.
Maybe they're
Same time.
communicating.
Maybe
Go on, give me a PPJ. No, not a PPJ.
What?
Give me a T.
a T-emergency question.
Yeah.
I mean, you seem immediately on board with the term PPJ.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
Yeah,
are you happy with that?
Totally.
All right, because that has become a new T-emergency question.
Oh.
What would you call PPJ? PPJ, there we go. Oh, PPJ, for anyone that hasn't listened to Matt Adlington's episode, is pressed plant juice, which is the name that we have given alternative milks.
Yeah.
Like, your soya.
Oh, but then I'm not fussy about you calling it milk alternative because I just think, get on with
No.
it. But I went somewhere on Sunday, and they were like, oh, can I get you a cup of tea? I said, oh, yeah, do you have any kind of
PPJ.
And he went, we've got semi-skimmed.
Sorry, did he understand the term PPJ?
No.
Oh, shit.
I said, have you got any kind of milk alternative? And he went, we've got semi-skimmed. I was like, no, it's fine. I'll have black tea, please. But yeah, there you go.
Amazing. It's idiots everywhere, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's
really
incredible.
In this day and age.
Yeah. Got anything not milk? You got cream? No. Cheese? No. Okay, we've gone the other way.
Do you want this bit of ham?
Yeah. Are you a biscuit dunker in your tea? So no. What's your go-to PPJ?
Soya milk in my tea.
Yeah. Okay.
And almond milk on other things. Is that dog barking? Was that your stomach?
That was my stomach. That's weird.
Have you got a guard stomach?
Ooh, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, almond milk in stuff. Soy milk and tea.
Yeah.
I really like soy milk and tea. But there is that thing that soy milk's not meant to be very good for you, is it?
There's something
much.
like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've tried.
Got is it soya milk that's high in
yes.
feminine?
Yeah. Products.
Yeah.
Tampons.
Tampons.
It's full of
yeah.
tampons.
I can't remember what they're called.
Yeah. Feminine estrogen. Yeah.
Full of estrogen.
Yeah.
Yes. No, I've heard that. Yeah, but I don't particularly like it. I think it's slightly too thick.
I love it in tea.
I imagine it's good in coffee, but I don't like coffee. So
No, coffee's disgusting. That's why this is a tea podcast.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
we've got a teaman.
I'm a tea.
Keep having people coming on saying like, "Oh yeah, well, I really like coffee."
No, not the same. Horrible.
Really welcome. They don't tell
Coffee
me
and
till they're
cigarettes
already
go
on.
together for me.
Yeah.
Like, not together nicely. I mean, the same people.
Yeah. They often like, "Oh, I'm gonna have a tea and coffee." Tea and coffee.
Can I have 2 drinks, please? I'll have a tea and a coffee.
Put them in 1 cup. Got a toffee. No. Oh, I'm gonna have a coffee and a cigarette. That's their thing, isn't it? They get up in the morning and have a coffee and a cigarette. Ugh.
You people.
Ugh.
Come on.
Do you know what I have instead of a coffee and a cigarette?
Big wank.
A shower. Sort of went the other way with that.
Wish I hadn't said it. You got edit. I don't know what swearing you edit. You left a C-bomb in from Matt Adlington.
No, I didn't mean to. I try to edit them all
It's
out.
really funny that one slipped through.
It's so tiring. Well, this is the thing. I say that this isn't a swear-free podcast. There is occasionally swearing in it.
Yeah.
So that's like, you're under your own advisement on whether or not you listen to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, occasionally. I try to chop out all of the C-bombs, but...
Yeah.
And
People
most of the F-bombs.
Yeah.
Little ones, don't mind too much, but... Good.
That's that covered.
Right. Milk. Tea. Oh, you're a biscuit dunker.
I'm not a massive biscuit eater,
Okay.
believe it or not. I don't like. My son loves Oreos. He's vegetarian. They're vegan Oreos.
They are vegan.
I don't really like them.
Do you not?
I like the cream in the middle. I don't really like biscuit. My
There's
favourite
red velvet Oreos.
Good.
Based on
What's
cake.
that?
I've not had them.
Oh, I don't
Like,
know.
red velvet cake.
Is that the one with beetroot?
It's like red sponge.
Is that beetroot?
I don't think so.
Okay.
Maybe. Could be. I don't want to...
My favourite biscuit at the moment is a Hobnob chocolate chip because they are vegan.
Oh, okay.
Accidentally vegan.
How are they?
Because
vegan?
It's plain chocolate. There's no milk in
Right,
it.
okay.
So there's a website called
dark
Accidentally Vegan.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dark chocolate I think would be... I might be wrong. I call dark chocolate when the cocoa content is very high.
Oh, okay.
Whereas plain chocolate is just no milk.
Right, okay.
So you can buy like Bourneville, Cadbury's Bourneville hasn't got any milk in it.
Oh, really?
But I wouldn't necessarily call it dark chocolate. I mean, that's being pedantic.
Oh, no, it's not.
Really.
So, if I'm thinking of the right thing.
It's kind of bitter chocolate. But you can buy dark chocolate that is like 80% cocoa, which is almost inedible. You put 1 cube in your mouth and your entire face folds in on itself like Inception. Like the city in Inception. But I like them a lot.
I've not had those, I don't think.
You can't get them everywhere. You see them every now and again. But other than that, I used to love a custard cream. Can't eat them anymore.
Yeah, that's a shame.
But a
They're
dunker,
classic biscuit.
But then I'm a monstrous eater as well. I've been trying to write a bit about this for about 3 years. About the way I eat is just ridiculous. Like a Kit Kat, I would have bitten both ends off, nibbled the chocolate on the sides, taken the top off, taken the bottom off, and then stripped the layers of that. A penguin, chocolate off, scrape the chocolate with my top teeth, break the biscuit apart, eat the filling, then munch the biscuit. What a monster. A carrot, I get a carrot, top and tail it, still got its skin on, eat the carrot, leaving the core of the carrot on its own.
What?
You know the core of a carrot?
Yeah.
So I ate all the carrot other than that bit, and then I feed that into my mouth like a log going into a chipping machine. Nom, 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 nom. I'm a monster when it comes to eating.
You're insane.
Well, next time you eat a carrot, eat it that way and then tell me it's not the best way of doing it. Because the core of the carrot is the tastiest bit.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah. And there's a load of food stuffs like that. But like I said, I've been trying to think of a bit of stand-up about it, but there's nothing really funny about it.
It's quite amusing.
It's just horrible.
It's an amusing concept. Yeah.
There's loads of stuff. Peas, pop peas, pea in the mouth, sort of squidge the pea, pop the pea out of the pea casing.
I do understand what you're talking about there, yeah. I do that occasionally. It's just fun. Yeah. Now, if you're going to chew, obviously you wouldn't now because you're vegan, but if you were going to chew the chocolate off of a Malteser, how would you do it?
Without damaging the central sphere. Oh, how would I do that?
Yeah.
I would very delicately, or I'd probably have put them in the fridge.
Okay.
Then I would I've got very dexterous teeth.
Right.
So I would rotate the Malteser with gradually strengthening the bite until I break the surface. Pull the Malteser out, half of it's gone. Then I'd grip the multi-sphere and literally break the second half off. I can do it 100% of the time perfectly.
Now, similarly, that it's easy to do it when it's cold, but if I pop it in my mouth, right, and if I just bite hard enough in a certain way
to make it fall off.
Yeah, half of it comes off, and then you just pop the other bits off in about 3 bits. With your,
but a lot of my food eating is outside
with my tongue
of my
and teeth,
mouth.
but the ball itself is still
that's very
undamaged. Yeah,
but
I'm pretty impressed.
You're never taking that out of your mouth and putting it back in. Well, it's disgusting.
I take it out to look at it.
Ah, good.
Just to know that I've...
Isn't it weird?
Yeah. It's so bizarre.
So why am I taking it out of my mouth?
It's like doing a poo, then looking down the toilet to make sure.
But it's that thing.
That's a good one.
If my son was doing it, I'd say, put it back in your... What are you doing? It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I do it all the time.
Yeah.
All stuff like that I do all the time. I found myself picking my nose the other day. I was driving.
Where's this going?
I was picking my nose. But it's like another thing that I would say to myself, get your finger out your nose.
Yeah.
I was driving along. I was like really digging around. I was like, I caught myself. Like, just like, what are you doing? What are you hoping to find? It's been up there for 3 minutes. Nothing there. I've just got a finger up my nose, hoping that something's up there. Have you ever gone to the front of your nose? Like, because like, if you go up your nostril and forwards, there's like a little groove in here, in the tip. And it was only a couple of years ago I discovered that was a rich mining port that I didn't know about.
For bogies.
I'd never put my finger that way up my nose before. I'm not a nose picker, I'm just saying. No. Oh, it might be. I don't know, subconsciously.
Yeah. I'd say to have had that revelation, you must be to some extent.
Yeah, I'm just saying, again, try that. Put your finger up your nose, but face your pad of your finger forwards and feel that little groove. It's not about tea, is it? Some of it's got to be about tea.
It doesn't have to be. That is the thing. It was never intended to be. It was just the tea was a nice sideline to a good chat.
Do like tea.
It was a sort of a good reason to get together to have a chat. And you get to have a tea as well,
which is nice. I do like tea. And is there another tea emergency question?
I don't think so.
Is that all of them?
Yeah,
covered.
I think we've done all the tea emergency.
I think we covered that properly.
Questions. We've done a long time.
We've done a long time.
Oh, it's been fun though. It has, yeah. It's got weird. It's got serious. Got dark. It's good. It's everything you want from a chat.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well. So, how you been?
It's really down, mate.
Yeah.
Imagine that.
Have you got anything to plug?
I'll do a podcast with Justin Panks called Pranks and Firth. The Pranks and Firth podcast. You should listen to that. Yeah. You should, and other people should.
Yeah. The music on the in the intro.
It's very good.
Very good.
That's great. Enjoy doing that.
Yeah.
I do a radio show with Matt Adlington. He plugged that.
Yeah.
He didn't plug the one that we do 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. Saturday and Sundays. He didn't plug that.
No, he didn't. He didn't mention it once.
Rubbish. We do that.
What is it?
It's on Radio Essex. It's from 1 a.m. till 6 a.m. It's the people coming in from a night out.
Yeah.
Or going out from a night in.
Yeah.
And we play all the hits if you like hits. Some people enjoy that.
I've enjoyed hits in the past.
Have you? And we also do the Soccer PM, which I think is a terrible name for it, but it's called that. It's on Saturdays 3 till 7
in the afternoon. So
football.
Where
we play all the hits with Ross McGrain on that one as well.
I would have thought that would be better called Soccer PM FM.
Yeah, I mean I don't.
Then it's on the radio.
Yeah, but Soccer FM would be fun, wouldn't it? Soccer FM would be fun.
Would be great. Is that a thing that already exists though?
I don't know. I don't know. Soccer. I don't know. And
who came up with that name?
Probably Ross.
Yeah.
Imagine he's the leader of these things, isn't he?
Yeah.
What else?
In
his own way.
Idiotic way.
In terms of
that's not just I'm not just being. if you don't know what that was in reference to, listen to the rest of the podcast. How have you got to this point without hearing?
Yeah. That's weird. Yeah. You started here.
Yeah.
I've got a stand-up show on Bandcamp that's old, but it's got some stuff on there, none of which I do anymore, pretty much. Maybe one or two jokes, but it's there. You can listen to that for free.
What's that called?
It's called Due to Foreseen Circumstances.
Okay.
It's on Bandcamp.
Oh, I'm going to have to look that up.
It's weird because on that you can listen to it for free, or you can buy it if people want to buy it.
Yeah.
And they can pay what they want. But it's weird because every so often it happens. I'll just get a little notification that someone's bought it, which is weird.
What, like they've paid for it, or they've just downloaded it?
Yeah, they've paid for it. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah,
I'm gonna download it now.
Yeah, you can do. Go for it. Enjoy.
Yeah.
But it's old. I don't necessarily stand by everything I say. Let's make that clear. There's a bit about the Mr. Men in there I wouldn't do anymore.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
You probably have.
Yeah.
Other than that, follow me on Twitter at Ash Frith.
Yes, at Ash Frith. You on Instagram?
Yeah, don't know. I've really got to up my Instagram game. But yeah, at Ash Frith. It's at Ash Frith on everything. I was quite an early adopter.
Yeah. I've got at Deaves on everything.
Yeah,
sort of nailed it.
Very good.
And the podcast is at tpartypod, which was difficult because I had to go through about 1 million different names to get the get the tag that, because there are a lot of tea party podcasts that exist, but none of them are about tea.
No. Well, they're about the Boston Tea Party.
Well, yeah, sort of.
Which was a bad time.
There's also a political party called the Tea Party in America, which I understand is like a light-hearted sort of political party. So I'm told. Because there's a lot of stuff, but a lot of them are about like American football.
Oh.
So I don't know if there's a thing with that or
something in American football called tea.
Yeah. Could be.
Yeah, I don't know.
I do have a few listeners in America, so they
should let us know, really.
Yeah.
That'd be a kind of...
let me know.
That'd be a kindness.
Unless they've listened once, gone, this is nothing to do with American football, which they just call football because they're wrong. And just to stop listening.
Yeah. We have people listening all over the world. It's very, very strange. I imagine that some of them...
I've recently acquired some listeners in New Zealand.
Wow, that's impressive. I do wonder how they stumble across it sometimes.
Yeah.
But then I think it's my appearance on other shows.
Yeah, well...
that sometimes people go, oh, I'll listen to his podcast.
Stu Goldsmith does a few things in New Zealand, and those listens were of his.
Yeah, okay.
And I've got a few listeners in Australia, and that came about after Cole Donnelly was on, and then went to
Melbourne often.
Yeah. It was the same time that he went to Melbourne. So,
yeah, I'm not going anyway, mate. You might get some South End, some West Cliff listeners.
Yeah, probably not. No, yeah, hey.
Hey, come on, hey. And the first Friday of every month, I host the comedy at West Cliff Casino. There you go.
Yeah.
Come to that. You don't have to, again.
No.
The listener.
But, I mean, Tom Fowler booked me.
Does Tom Fowler book you?
Not yet. No.
Go on, Tom.
He's only just accepted my friend request on Facebook.
Oh, there you go. You're making big strides with Tom.
Making progress.
Yeah, you get.
Yeah, we're basically best friends.
You're getting there. Yeah. Takes time with Tom. He's a tough egg.
Is he?
But once you're in, it's like a warm embrace.
Yeah. Good. So I like that. I like a warm embrace. What is the what is the channel of the radio station? What's the FM settings?
107.1, and it's on DAB.
I'm going to cut out this whole...
It's on DAB. I'll tell you what it is. I don't know. I don't ever say it out loud. Matt tends to lead these shows. Radio Essex, to me...
You just bring the talent and let him do the...
It's 105.1, 107.7 FM. It's on DAB. It's everywhere that you download your radio stations from.
And it's available as a podcast as well, isn't it?
Our football one is a separate podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, if you don't like football, whatever you do, please don't listen.
Yeah.
You'd be bored out of your tiny mind.
And that is why I don't listen.
No,
because
no.
I love both you and Matt.
Matt's, but, we want it to grow, but I want it to grow to the right people. I don't want people just to listen. Actually, you know what? Do download it, actually. Cause,
yeah. It's a great show. I listen to it every single week. I'd turn the radio off at work and I'm like, no, we're putting this on.
Because you love Ariana Grande.
Is she on your show?
Oh, a lot, yeah. She's often played.
As a guest or?
No, she won't guest.
No, what a bitch. Too busy. It's got weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
you know the thing I enjoy most about this podcast.
Yeah.
It's the ending, and
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a negative way. It's because it always gets to the point where you're reluctant to just end it,
Yeah.
and then you just go, I think we're probably
We're
done.
about there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
I
then
think that's become a phrase of mine.
we're
We're about there.
there.
We're about there.
Yeah.
It's a sort of a gentle way of saying, stop talking now, please.
No, okay, I'm going to stop now.
Thanks very much for coming on, Ash.
Oh, I've had to speak again.
Yeah.
I've loved having you up here in the booth.
Oh, thanks so much, man. I didn't even know this was here. I'm gonna take a photo of us in the booth with the mugs, and I can't remember if I finished that story earlier. But for my birthday, I didn't finish it because we started talking about how you don't care about people's birthdays.
I don't.
But my girlfriend bought me some the Comedian's Tea Party with Deaves mugs. For specifically to use on a podcast, which
so nice.
Someone actually supportive, lovely, and she's lovely, and I love her, and I'm finally getting into my house.
I love it so much. When you get a room in a house.
All right, I will get a house full of rooms.
Yeah, if you love it so much, when you get a house full of rooms.
Yeah, that is the phrase. Yeah, well done. Oh, yeah, thanks for coming on. Thanks for having me in your house, in your pod booth.
You're welcome.
Where we will take the photo. Thanks for listening. I love you.
So
bye.
succinct, so succinct.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Say bye.
Bye, I love you.
Yeah. And that was Ash Frith. That was very enjoyable. Had a great time. Thanks for listening. I hope you've enjoyed it. Don't forget, if you did enjoy it, to subscribe and tell your friends. Give it a little share on social media. Tell your friends. Tell your friends to review us, and then review us yourself. Just drop us a little 5 stars if you can. That would be lovely because it helps us get seen, and that is always appreciated. As Ash was saying, you can follow him on at Ash Frith on anything because he got all of the stuff. And don't forget to follow me or tweet me or anything of the like. At tpartypod, that is the letter T, partypod, or drop me an email with your suggested names for PPJs or guests that you'd like to see on, or anyone that you've got links to that you think would be interesting. That would be great. Send that to tpartypod@gmail.com. Don't forget to come to my show in Camden. If you forgot where it is, then listen to the intro again because I'll mention it on there. We've got a few good recordings lined up over the next couple of weeks, so don't forget to keep listening in, and I'll reveal who they are as time passes on. Until the next time, enjoy yourselves, drink tea, love each other. I love you. Bye.